I know this might sound strange, but I feel so desperate and don't know how to save my marriage. Here's what happened. My name is Erin, and I've been married to my husband, Jonathan, for 10 years. During our years together, I've often joked at his expense. I tease him about his height, endurance, and size down there. For the most part, only he has heard it, but in recent years, I have started doing it in front of my friends when they visit. It puts me in the center in a way that I like. However, Jonathan doesn't know that I do this because I know he would find it extremely humiliating. One evening, I was out with my girlfriends at a pub. We were sitting at a table, having fun, and had become a bit intoxicated. In the mood, I said that I should get a guy on the side because Jonathan currently can't keep me satisfied. The others laughed, encouraged me, and suggested a guy named Stefan. Lisa, one of my friends who is married to Mark, said she had already tried Stefan out and that he was excellent. I thought it might be a good idea. After a few minutes, a tall, muscular man came and sat at our table. I flirted with him a bit. He was really tall and handsome. Shortly after, we broke up the company and I went home. When I got home, it was quiet in the house. No one was there. I was so drunk that I fell asleep immediately. When I woke up, it was still quiet and empty. I started texting Jonathan, but got no response. I became worried and began calling around. When I called Michael, Jonathan's best friend, he answered that Jonathan had left the house and didn't intend to come back. He also said that it might be better for me to go to Stefan instead. Then he hung up. I didn't understand what had happened. How did Michael find out everything? I thought of different ways, but none seemed reasonable. I knew I never intended to be unfaithful, and I love Jonathan too much to do something like that. I tried to reach him without success. I sent texts and emails explaining that he misunderstood everything and that I never intended to be unfaithful. I said that I love him too much to do something like that. He doesn't respond to any texts or calls, and now I don't know what to do. Help me. What should I do to solve this? Advice 1. Did you really think you could treat him any way you wanted without consequences? Even if he hadn't found out you were flirting with others, your mockery would have driven him away sooner or later. It's extremely disrespectful to do that to someone you say you love. Stop chasing him and give him time to gather himself. Advice 2. Give him time, sort out your own feelings, and make sure to stop that behavior. If my woman did that, I would have thrown her out. It's extremely disrespectful to talk down to your partner in front of your friends when he can't defend himself. Would you appreciate it if he did the same to you? Update 1. It's now been 2 days since my first post, and I have received a response from my husband. He wants a divorce. I'm in a panic and don't know how to get him to change his mind. In his message, he stated that my constant mockery had gone too far and that he had asked me to stop several times. He wrote that he had tried to talk to me about this over and over again, but my constant jokes about his height, endurance, and other personal things had really hurt him. He felt diminished and unimportant in our relationship. Now, he has also found out that I not only mocked him when we were alone, but also in front of my friends. Additionally, I started checking out other men to be unfaithful with my friends. He no longer trusted me and never wants to see me again. I tried to explain that it was a joke, but I couldn't explain why Stefan was involved. I only knew that it wasn't me who called him. Stefan is just a friend. I tried to write. There's no real connection, and I would never want to do anything to hurt you. I am completely desperate and don't know what to do. I went to a therapist and quickly got a session. When I told the therapist what had happened, she looked at me with a completely expressionless face. She said that I need to handle my own feelings about this and that I can't force Jonathan back to me. He will do what he thinks is best for him, she said. She asked me why I behaved that way. Why I mocked him in front of friends, I didn't know. The therapist asked me if I despised or looked down on him for some reason, but I couldn't think of what it might be. It was as if a dark place in my mind had been activated and I couldn't reach its origin. To all of you who have given me advice, I know I've messed up, but I never thought he would take it as badly as he did. I don't think I went over the line with my jokes and that there's a difference between joking and mocking. I'm trying to keep my spirits up, but it's not easy. Update 2. Several days have now passed since my last update, and I still haven't heard anything from Jonathan. I have sent countless texts, emails, and tried calling him multiple times, but he refuses to respond. This silence only makes me even angrier and more desperate. I don't understand why he's ignoring me completely, and without any explanation, it feels like a personal betrayal. Why can't he just tell me what happened? To be honest, I did something really stupid last night with Stefan. After an intense and emotional day, I felt overwhelmed and lonely. So I contacted him again. We met to talk, but I now realize it was a big mistake. I was seeking comfort and understanding, but instead, I only worsened the situation and made things even worse. I feel deeply ashamed of my behavior and realize that this has only confirmed Jonathan's suspicions and hurt him even more. My anger is directed not only at Jonathan for not wanting to communicate, but also at myself for acting so irresponsibly. I feel stuck between trying to repair my marriage and dealing with my own feelings of guilt and anger. I don't know how to move forward or if it's even possible to save our relationship. I really need help and support to understand what to do next. I feel in a deep darkness and don't know how to get out of this. All advice and support are immensely appreciated right now. Comment 1. Is this how you treat your husband? You've been mocking him for years and looking for new men, and then when he notices you, gets hurt, and wants time, you bring a guy into your shared home? Don't you understand that you are the problem here? I hope he takes the right path if he decides to divorce. Comment 2. It's unbelievable how you can behave like this. You need to seek help. What if he forgives you and then you fight again? Will you do the same then? Go separate ways and start working on yourself. Update 3. The divorce papers arrived today, 3 weeks after Jonathan left. I haven't talked to him since that day, only via text. His lawyer called and asked if I had my own lawyer that he could talk to. I said I would arrange one and asked if the lawyer could ask Jonathan to call me. He responded that he would say I'd asked for it, but he wasn't going to compel him to do so. Family and friends have now learned exactly what happened, and almost everyone is distancing themselves from what I've done. Even my friends who laughed when I was doing it don't want to meet me anymore. Their boyfriends and husbands are furious about what I've done, and several have issued ultimatums because none of them feel safe with their women anymore and what they are capable of. The woman who called Stefan is also getting a divorce. Her husband found out about it a week after Jonathan did. Probably Jonathan was the one who told her husband. Now I'm just waiting for a hearing. The lawyer said that Jonathan won't be present at all. He will handle it for him. I feel so lonely and lost. I don't know how to fix this or if it's even possible. I have tried everything I can to reach out to him and explain the situation, but it feels like all my attempts are only worsening the situation. Looking back, I realize that my jokes and behaviors have built a wall between us that I don't know how to tear down. I miss Jonathan so much, and the thought of being alone scares me. I know I've done wrong, but I wish I could take everything back and start over. The therapist has given me some tools to handle my feelings, but the pain of losing him feels overwhelming. I realize that I need to work on myself and understand why I acted the way I did, but I don't know if it will be enough to save our relationship. Update 4. Now everything is settled. I still haven't heard from him or even seen him. His lawyer explained to me that Jonathan gave him power of attorney to handle all negotiations himself so that his client doesn't need to be present in court. I don't know where he is or what he's doing. I have tried to reach him at work, but he doesn't work there anymore, and they refuse to tell me where he is now. It's a large company with lots of subsidiaries. He can basically work anywhere now. His friends and his family refuse to talk to me. They hang up when I call. So I have given up trying to talk to him. I am still going to therapy, and it's going well. I have gained insights into my behavior, which makes me want to apologize even more. I am dating no one, and I haven't seen Stefan anymore. Right now, I am living in celibacy and have no desire to break it. My crying attacks have stopped, but I'm almost always depressed and lonely. I have tried to make new friends, but it's not the same as the friends I lost. This is the last update. Update 5. I wrote that I wouldn't update anymore, but I saw him today. He came out of his parents' house with a woman I had never seen before. She was younger than me, beautiful, tall. She smiled. I broke down in the car. I wanted to stop but couldn't. There were cars all around me. It's the first time I've seen him since the day he left the house, just over a year ago. I thought I had gotten over him, but I hadn't. But it seems like he has gotten over me.
If you liked this story, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It helps a lot, and you won't miss out on any future stories. Take care and live your best life.